My name is Kevin. I'm a special agent with Homeland Security Investigations here in the Los Angeles area. I'm assigned to the Cyber Crimes and Incident Response Team. We received a call from our attaché's office in Toronto, Canada. The attaché's office had explained to us that they had received information from a local bank in Toronto. The bank had reported that an American citizen in the Los Angeles area was sending money to a money mule in the Toronto area. Based on the information that our attaché had provided to us, we traveled to the victim's house here in the Los Angeles area. The victim had recorded the conversations with the suspect on a couple of occasions. This proves very helpful when it comes to prosecution point. We can always play that recording back to the jury for them to hear how this particular scammer impacted this particular victim.
I just hope you understand that that's the only way I can send the money.
Why do you want to make it so difficult for me? Is it gonna be fine? Is it gonna be nice? When I told you what I want, you are helping me, and I said, okay, this is how I want it. Then why do you want to make this an issue?
The pot at the end of the rainbow was going to be so wonderful, the way he presented this whole story to me, what our lives would be like together and how much we had in common. And it was, both of us having lost a spouse, and now we're going to start the rest of our lives together. I just couldn't see straight.
Look, there go the Millers again.
I come from a generation who trusted most people they met. We didn't assume everyone was bad or guilty until they proved themselves innocent. But in today's dating world, you must assume everyone is a scammer until they prove that they're not. It was a perfect storm. My husband had died 2 years earlier. I was retired, and then COVID hit. And so the next 2 years, I'm stuck at home. I was missing having a companion. I was missing having somebody to talk to and have a connection with. I went on a seniors dating site. There were lots of men's faces that came up that were, okay. And this one guy, he just looked like a nice, decent man. He actually reminded me a little of my late husband in his eyes and his smile, so I was kind of drawn to that. There are many worldwide networks of scammers who have different scripts they work from, but there are common red flags to always look for. He's new to online dating. He doesn't have a lot of pictures to send you. That's because he's using someone else's pictures. He wants to know all about your friends and family, not because he cares. It's so he knows if you're going to talk to other people about him who could warn you to stay away. He works outside the country. It could be on an oil rig in the Indian Ocean or in the military, or he's a contractor in the Middle East. It's always something exotic, because then his story can get complicated and confuse you. I wish I knew this before I ever started going online to meet someone. I assumed he was honest and genuine. He spent months texting me 3 to 4 times a day and calling me to establish our relationship. You're already sucked in to this emotional attachment, and that's all they need to reel you in and prime you and groom you to the point where they ask for money. That's all this is about. And they know they're not going to get it until they feel they've earned your trust. So they do whatever they need to, tell you whatever you need to hear. So when he started saying things that didn't sound right or make sense, by the time I saw the red flags, I ignored them because I didn't want to be wrong. I wanted to believe the dream. I was already brainwashed to believe everything he told me, just like being in a cult. Once you're there, number one, you don't want to be wrong. You don't want to admit it because you don't want to be wrong. You don't want to feel you've been scammed. You don't want to feel that you've given money that you're never going to get back to a stranger. So you go with it and you make it happen in your head. Whereas all he's doing is setting you up to take your money that you're never going to see again. There's a private Facebook group for victims of romance scammers. And I joined that. And oh, did that help? Because there were so many women, mostly women, but there were some men who have all been in the same situation, who lost way more money than I did, and going through the exact same feelings of how could they be so gullible, how could they be so stupid. They're smart, intelligent women who count every penny that they're spending, and they got sucked in for, the story might be different, but the end goal was the same. They suck you out of your money and just manipulate your emotions.
You know, I'm oftentimes asked by the victim, you know, what could I have done? In this particular case, we were asked, you know, what could I have done better? In this particular instance, the victim did everything right. Preserved evidence, preserved the communications, which leads me to recommending, if you're to this, if you believe that you're a victim of a romance scam, or if you believe you're a victim of some type of fraud, it's important that you report this. Report it to law enforcement, and make sure that that information is shared, because it's about preventing further victimization of yourself.